recognized symbol of excellence in sports entertainment.
Wrestling has more than one royal family.
Woo, woo, woo! You know it!
You actually think you deserve a shot at this? You don't deserve, buddy. You couldn't provide ice cream if the Dairy Queen, Carvel, and Cookie Puss drove an ice cream truck straight up your ass.
You should be ashamed I'm a part-timer, because I can do this part-time better than you could ever do it full-time.
This ain't no disco. Ain't no country club either. This is the 3 Count Thursday podcast. So let's go, baby.
Scissor me, daddy! Yeah!
Good evening, everyone. Welcome 3CT. We are live. It is July 27th, 2023. We are glad to be back with you for another week. If you are following along with us live, give us a like and a share. We'd certainly appreciate that. And make sure you are following along with us on all of our social media at 3 Count Thursday, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Get our merchandise over at tpublic.com. And that's if you go to 3countthursday.com, that is our website. Always the number 3, never the word 3. And that is where you will get everything you need to know, everything 3CT related. We would appreciate that support as always. So a little lighter on the crew this evening. Ryan on vacation. Mark, well, we don't know where Mark is, but what else is new? Matt?
You all right, cuz?
I'm doing well. I'm ready for the weekend here coming up. Ready to talk some wrestling and then some non-wrestling stuff on Tuesday. And I'm also ready to dump a few more cold yoo-hoos down the drain since Mark didn't show up tonight.
Every time we get angry with Mark, what's up, Devin? Every time we get angry with Mark, a yoo-hoo dies. It's the way it goes. It's the way it has to happen. Tim,
You all right, cuz?
I'm great. I want to read something. Hello to Kitty. Hey.
Kitty joining us. What's
Hey,
up,
buddy? How are you? Via Boardroom on Instagram, Elon Musk's move to get rid of the iconic bird logo this weekend has wiped out as much as between $4 and $20 billion in value, according to analysts and brand agencies. Brand Finance estimates that the Twitter brand has already lost 32% of its value since Musk's takeover. So, is X going to give it to you? No, they're going to take
Probably not. Thanks, Elon, you dick.
So I refuse to
Nelson
call.
laugh too?
Oh,
You
yeah.
hit that.
Did we take that off the board?
I don't think so.
I
I thought he
think
stayed.
you
I had it labeled
There
as
it is.
something different on this one than the 3 count or the huddle up board.
So did you guys hear that they have renamed what they call a tweet?
It's a zeet, right?
It's a zeet.
Nope, that's
No.
never. I will never
So,
call it a zeet. I promise.
I'm also never going to call it X.
Nope.
So follow me, guys. The new name for the app is Twix.
It's Twix.
Get behind
Twix.
that.
I can get behind that. What's going on, Mikey
If
B?
he's going to name stuff that stuff already is and like don't care about trademarks, then let's just go one step forward and
I want to
it's
know my
Twix.
favorite part of the X thing is like,
nothing.
well, like the original logo was literally just from like some $3.40 font on like fonts.com.
It still is.
Is it? Well, I thought they tweet. It's like the Vanilla Ice. Like, no, it's not actually under pressure because I put that little ting in there.
I'm pretty sure that I have the font that X is from.
Oh my God, can we?
Because it's the one line and then the other line is 2 lines.
Yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely have that font. I'm gonna find it.
I feel like we can do something with that. I feel like that's a shirt idea. Left Twix
Luckily,
or right Twix?
It's fucking none Twix.
Yes. So did you guys ever have the peanut butter Twix?
Yes, I love that shit.
I love peanut butter Twix more than the caramel Twix myself.
No, I wouldn't go that far, but it is very good.
I enjoyed it. Devin, I don't even know what that comment means.
I don't even know what that means, Kobe Bryant.
He said,
what did he say? I'm not looking. I'm trying to make this X.
Said I had an awesome weekend. I never thought I would say this, but a midget was taller than me because he climbed a fence. I don't know.
There's so much wrong with that sentence, Devin.
Okay.
I don't even know what that means. But
did you go to
had an awesome weekend.
Did you go to Micro Pro Wrestling or some ish?
I don't even know what that means. Yeah, Luna Kitty's on board with the peanut butter Twix.
I mean,
no
one is off board with the peanut butter Twix.
Yeah, I don't know.
I really hope it doesn't take me forever to find this X.
I hope not either. But yeah, if you're with us on the live show, give us a like, give us a share. We'd appreciate that. Let's hit the news. Bully Ray thinks it's now is the time to pull the trigger on Finn Balor as WWE World Heavyweight Champion. The wrestling legend noted during a recent Busted Open Radio this week that he feels Balor should defeat Seth freaking Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship at the biggest party of the summer next weekend in Detroit, Michigan. He said, who wins this match, Finn or Seth? I hope it's Finn because the internal story of Finn and Damian Priest intrigues me, and Dominic and Rhea keep trying to have them at bay. He was also critical of Rollins for not being as much of a fighting champion as he claimed he would be. He said, quote, he's not the workhorse guy they made us believe he was going to be. I know it's still brand new. I get it. So we will obviously be previewing SummerSlam next weekend, so we don't really have to make our pick about that here. But
Got it.
From what from Bully Ray's comments to the new World Heavyweight Championship, do you guys think that Rollins has done enough to, we'll start here, to be a fighting champion? Because that was the line that we heard going in, that he was, that this title and he was going to be, if he won, he was going to be the fighting champion, which is different than Roman Reigns because, you know, Reigns has his limited schedule and all of that. So to you guys, has Rollins been a fighting champion?
Sorry, my brain broke trying to read what Devin wrote. Has he earned that status? I would say yes. I think that he's done enough over time to be qualified to have that type of persona in the business.
So let me see here. I'm pulling this up. He won the title on May 27th. He beat AJ Styles. I'm only counting TV shows because I mean, obviously he's going to defend it on house shows. He has defended it on Raw. He defended it on NXT. So he's had 2 title defenses on TV since winning it. He has obviously defended on multiple house shows, super shows. But
he defended it on NXT.
Yeah, he had it on Raw right after winning it, and then he had it on NXT defending it. So his last title defense on TV was June the 20th, so a little over a month ago. But like, I think I maybe had expected. I think I had expected him to maybe defend it more on TV, but I think part of the point in establishing this title and having this title is that we would see it on TV every week, and he at the very least has been on TV every week. And I think the build up to this match with him and Finn has been really, really good. So like the fighting champion part, I guess from Bully Ray's side, I can kind of see where he's coming from, that he's had 2 title defenses on TV since winning it at the end of May. But for me, I think he's done a really good job at establishing the new title. We're seeing it on TV every week. It feels important. It feels big. It feels like a world title. So like maybe fighting champion isn't exactly the best way to describe it, but establishing a new title, which was the goal, I think he's done a very good job at.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And also, too, you have to take into account, until very recently, he was splitting his time between Monday Night Raw and shooting Captain America, not New World Order. I forget what the new name of the movie is because they don't call it New World Order anymore. So what do you want? Like, he's defended it more than Roman Reigns has defended the title since WrestleMania. He's defended the title more than I think he's defended the title more than Austin Theory's defended the United States title.
At least since WrestleMania, yeah. In the same time,
Right.
for sure. I don't think Austin Theory's had a title defense since WrestleMania.
Right.
He was practically off TV until a couple of weeks ago.
Right. Like, I don't. So yes, he's a fighting champion by like 2023 standards.
Yeah, and I think Mike brings up a good point here. He says, like, was Bully expecting him to have like an open challenge? I mean, I thought that would have been cool to do like the very first night after he won, or the first title defense after he won. But yeah, I didn't expect a John Cena US title open challenge every Monday night on Raw. And I think if you came into this title reign expecting that, then you were going to be disappointed, because I don't think that was ever going to happen with Seth Rollins in this run. Yeah, it's and Mike, his second point about it too, he said he's had that belt all over TV, which was needed. Bingo. Like, because that was kind of the thing that, I mean, hell, even when Triple H unveiled the title, like, that was one of the biggest pieces of the unveiling was, look, we know Roman's deal. He's worked out his schedule and his part, you know, he's worked himself to be a part-time champion without actually saying Roman's a part-time champion. But like, he's made this convenient schedule for himself, which we get it. We know the deal. It is what it is. But like, this title is being made to be here on TV and to be seen and to recognize its importance. And yeah, I think it's done that. I think it's done that. Now, in terms of should Finn win it, you know, that we're obviously going to predict next week. I would not be surprised if Seth. Let me put it this way: I will not be surprised if Seth Rollins leaves Detroit not as World Heavyweight Champion. Now, does that mean Finn walks out as World Heavyweight Champion, or does that mean we get a Money in the Bank cash in? You know, that's to me the beauty of the story. If I'm booking it, that aspect of it, I think there's more money in Finn as the champion and Damian always kind of looking over his shoulder, even in his own house, at Damian Priest. So I don't think if Finn, maybe we'll put it this way, we're not actually going to make an official prediction, but this will be the last portion of this topic. If Finn wins, I think that we are less likely to get a cash in than if Seth wins. So if Finn wins, I think there's story in the aftermath of Finn always kind of looking over his shoulder, waiting for Damian to cash in on him. But I think if Seth retains, I could see the Judgment Day beat down Seth and Damian cashes in, and then it's that power struggle between Finn and Damian of who's actually in charge here. Do you guys have any thoughts on that before we move on?
That makes the most sense storyline wise, what you laid out.
Tim?
No, I'm with you 100%.
Cool. Devin did add people already turning on Seth being a champion. Yeah, I mean, and again, when you're talking about Busted Open and whoever's hosting on given days, I don't remember. I don't think Bully Ray hosts every day, but like they're also creating talking points. It's very similar to, sports talk radio or something like that, where you maybe sometimes say things you don't even necessarily 100% believe in, just to get a reaction and get fan calls and things like that. So, yeah, I think that is that. But yeah, let's move on here to week number 16.
Since John Moxley and Cesaro, way before Gargano, there was Savage and Roddy, and Saturdays on NBC. These five guys on Facebook are gonna take a hard look. 3 Count Thursday brings to you the wrestler on the week.
Mike adds here at the end of that, he said Triple H made it out like he was going to defend it more. He did. I mean, it was kind of that impression. And again, if you're looking at 2023 standards and looking compared to the rest of the company and compared to Roman's title, U.S. title, maybe even the Intercontinental title without looking at it. I know Gunther's had defenses at premium live events, but I don't know if he's had them on TV as often. I think even 2 defenses in a couple of months is actually kind of rarefied air when you're talking about world titles in WWE. So, week 16 in our Wrestler of the Week. Tim, I believe you are the People's Champ once again.
It feels good to be king. King don't miss, king don't travel is the way it is. And that's why with my pick, I actually want to give my picks of the week as they flow into the People's Champ. So we'll just kill 2 birds with 1 stone here. So number 5, Matt Cardona winning the DDT Openweight Championship, I think. And then decided to take it to Tokyo Disney. In the meanwhile wearing his wife's WWE Women's Tag Team title to the ring.
Tim.
Replica, Tim.
No, that was the belt. That was the strap.
Replica, Tim.
Sorry, DDT Universal Championship. Acknowledge him, Matt Cardona, the indie god, the deathmatch king, the coward who won't fight the boar this weekend in Virginia. He's got to fight Brandon Scott. What a coward. Number 4, Aussie Open, Mark Davis, Kyle Fletcher, a.k.a. the luckiest man in the world to some who think Sky Blue is a thing. Aussie Open winning the ROH tag team titles. Then the top 3. Jeff Cobb. You might remember Jeff Cobb from a little thing called Lucha Underground. Except he didn't go by Jeff Cobb in Lucha Underground. He is undefeated so far for the week in the G1 Climax tournament. You know, that little thing, the biggest wrestling tournament in Japan. Picking up victories in back-to-back outings against New Japan Pro Wrestling television champion Zack Sabre Jr. and Ace Hiroshi Tanahashi.
I've heard of those people.
Yes, and Jeff Cobb's actually in the lead of the D block coming out of the tournament so far. Number 2, Will Ospreay, who's also in the lead of his block B. Reason why he is here is because for the first time in 8 years, Will Ospreay has cleanly defeated Kazuchika Okada in bracket play of the New Japan G1 Climax 33, taking the lead of his block, number 1. But there's only one man in the G1 so far that is undefeated, and that is the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, that handsome devil, Sonata. And that's why Sonata is also our people's champ for the week. I don't know why there's a whole bunch of little discrepancies in text characters on that, but needless to say, it's whatever. Sonata, people's champ, number 1 for me, because the G1 matters, dag nabbit, and it's almost over. At least bracket play. The bracket, the block play will be done August the 2nd.
That's next week.
Yeah. It's like it's middle of the week next week, right? Yeah.
Yeah, say by the time we get here, by the time we get to here next Thursday, that'll be over.
And there's still some great matches left in the tournament.
Yeah, there you go. Matt, want to go throw Ryan and Mark's picks up there for just a brief second, because there they are, and we'll get Mark's up there for a second, I'm sure. Which is basically just some random copy of the rest of ours. But Matt, go ahead with yours.
Yeah, so big event in MCW this week, so that's why my results skewed a little heavy that way. So in 5th place, I do have Darby for now becoming the number 1 contender for the TNT title. And then in 4th place, Capital Punishment, that is Spencer Slade, Tim Spriggs, your new MCW Tag Team Champs. In 3rd place, Mike Walker, who won the Shane Shamrock Memorial Cup over the weekend, so congrats to him. Courageous Christina Marie is your new MCW Women's Champion. And then in 1st place, I have Aussie Open, as Tim mentioned, your new ROH World Tag Champs.
All right. For me, I have Darby Allin, same reason as Matt. Won last night, new number 1 contender for the the TNT title. I have Subculture, 2nd week in a row. Mark Andrews, Flash Morgan Webster retaining their Impact Tag Team championships. Number 3, Billy Gunn on Collision, took the boots off, left him in the ring. If we have seen his wife's Twitter this week, it would appear the news is confirmed that old Billy Gunn has retired. So hell of a career. Certainly was, I don't know, borderline height of powers over the last year or so with the Acclaimed. Certainly as over as he's ever been. So if that is definitely the end for Billy Gunn, an absolute hell of a career for him. Number 2, Santos Escobar advanced in the U.S. title tournament thing they have on over there on SmackDown. But more importantly, there was a WWE was down in Mexico City over the weekend, and at like a fan meet and greet, there was a young fan was kind of overwhelmed in the moment. Santos brought him to the apron and just had a really neat interaction. If you haven't seen it, it's out on social media. So great wrestler, seemingly even better person. So kudos to him. And then Dominic Mysterio is my number 1, I believe 2 successful retaining matches as the North American champion. He main evented all 3 shows in the last week. So it's Dominic Mysterio's world. We're all just living in it. So he is my number 1 for the week. And Tim, where does that leave us for the standings for this week and for this year?
For the week, we got a tie for 5th between Christina Marie and Will Ospreay, all receiving 5th place honors. Sonata coming in 4th. Santos Escobar, the number 1 contender for the United States Championship, in 3rd. Dirty Dominic Mysterio in 2nd. and Aussie Open taking the win for the week. Boys, it's getting a little crowded on the week graphic because now we've got 3 in the first.
Look at that.
Dirty Dom Mysterio has now joined Orange Cassidy and Deonna Purrazzo with 10 points overall for the year. The only other notable jump is Sonata making his return into the top 10, joining Damian Priest with 8 points overall, and Will Ospreay cracking the top 10, joining just the litany of people at the bottom of the list so far for week 16. A long road to hoe, but it also shows the variability of who is on top. It hasn't really been any one person's year so far. So much to do in the second, third, and fourth quarters of the wrestling year.
Pretty exciting, but that's where we close out week number 16.
Since John Moxley and Cesaro, way before Gargano, there was Savage and Roddy, and Saturdays on NBC. These 5 guys on Facebook are gonna take a hard look. 3 Count Thursday brings to you the wrestler on the week.
The 3 count question of the week.
All right. Well, because we have seen Dominic Mysterio on TV so much, like I said, the big win of the North American title. We've seen him take that title from NXT to SmackDown to Raw, back to NXT. Who knows? He'll probably be on SmackDown tomorrow and a Raw again on Monday, because why the heck not when you're one of the hottest things in the company? But my question this week, because I saw a couple people kind of comment on this, and I thought it was an interesting point, or an interesting discussion, is does it harm the NXT brand when main roster superstars hold their titles? We're seeing with Dominic Mysterio right now. We saw it with Dolph Ziggler, what was that, a year-ish or so ago, when he won the NXT title. Yeah, I'll leave it to one of you guys first if you want to jump in with your thoughts.
I don't think it does any harm, but I think it's misleading. NXT, by all accounts, is supposed to be a developmental brand, right? That's what we were told with 2.0. And then, of course, like, there was the big hullabaloo that 2.0 goes away, and now it's new black and gold, but it's not black and gold. And like, it's still it's still like developmental. But over the last like couple of months, it feels like they're trying to make NXT a third brand again, which definitely feels like a Triple H thing. Mm-hmm. Which I'm not mad about.
Yeah.
What I'm mad about is, and what we've all been mad about in the past with people like Sami Zayn or Dolph Ziggler or like anybody who has been started and stopped and started and stopped and started and stopped. How much longer are you going to try to convince me that NXT is a meaningful thing, only to then tell me it's not meaningful by having all of the people carry beer kegs around the ring and do like contests and shit? Like, what do you want? I don't get it.
Right.
Which I'm not saying like that's not what they're doing now, but it's just inconsistent and borderline problematic, because I want great things from NXT.
Yeah,
like we all miss NXT's glory days.
Yeah, and I mean, the hope, and again, and this is we're still just a year into the Triple H era, and Shawn Michaels kind of de facto running NXT. Is the hope is that we thought of this in the old days, the old era, where Triple H would develop and mold and create these great stories and these guys with great matches, and they would climb to the pinnacle of NXT, and then they would come to the main roster, and Vince would be like, "That's not my wrestler, pal," and like would just do nothing with them. So like the hope now, right, is that with Shawn and Triple H having seemingly similar ideas, similar mindset, similar goals for what they want out of NXT and WWE and all of that, that like the hope is that if you're developing talent in NXT, that when they get to the main roster, there isn't that big drop off and failure of booking. So yeah, I'm with you, Tim. I want big things from it, but there's also skepticism as well.
I think that's kind of always been the issue when they've done this in the past. This is exciting at first, and you think it's going to bring some level of attention that it ultimately doesn't. So, I mean, eventually it's just kind of a matter of who is Dominic going to put over in NXT, and then when can we expect to see their career fizzle out? Is kind of been the norm with any type of main roster person holding the belt. Is usually they give it to someone who either doesn't need it or doesn't do anything with it.
Yeah. I agree with what Tim said. Is I don't think it definitely doesn't hurt the NXT brand. It can't. To mean, how does it hurt the NXT brand?
That's the other thing too. I mean, what hurt could it bring? It's not getting a ton of eyes as it is. I mean, a lot of people don't watch NXT religiously like they used to. So, what does it matter?
Yeah, I mean, so I think that the last, this week their rating was up. So over the past. Since July 18th, it had its second highest mark in the last year at 746,000. This week it was 703,000, which was up from a year ago on the same week. You know, with Dominic on. But yeah, it's usually in the 500,000 to 600,000 range. Occasionally it clips that 700,000 mark. Like I said, in the first 2 weeks with Dominic Mysterio fighting for the North American title, and then as the reigning North American title, it's doing better than average.
How many main roster people have actually won titles in NXT? Like, there's Dom.
There's Ziggler.
There's the New Day.
There was women's champion, right?
Charlotte
during the pandemic, right?
And that's it.
I think,
right?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think that's it. So yeah,
there's been times where NXT people have gone up and won like main roster titles,
and they've had
like Kevin Owens.
They've had main roster challenge for the belt too, like Cesaro. There was someone else during the Bo Dallas reign, I thought. Maybe like
there probably was.
Yeah.
Blanking on what Neville's name was. Or it was
Adrian Neville.
Yeah.
That's right. 3 of the 4 of the ones we can think of have occurred in the last year. So like, but again, it's not an, and I use the word problem loosely because again, I don't think it's a problem, but it's not a common problem where this is happening all the time. Now again,
right.
Since the draft, we've seen more main roster superstars going to NXT. Mustafa Ali, Baron Corbin. I think Dana Brooke was there 1 week.
She's still there.
So like, and that's fun.
Yeah, Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo are over there now too. And of course, big drafty Jeep Wagoneer is still with the white and gold. He's in a big feud right now with Braun Breaker. Ooh.
Yeah, okay.
What is that? What does that say about? Is Braun just on the Give Back tour,
Maybe.
or is he just like disenfranchised
Is he
now
like
because
doing favors because like
his daddy's a problematic son of a gun?
His dad's problematic, so he's doing
Man.
someone to business.
Tell me my heart's broken without telling me my heart's broken. Rick Steiner, he was on my top 5, and now he's just.
Oof, he's off the list.
And then I look to Mark from Texas. At least all the stuff he does is quiet, except for 9 Line.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's got his T-shirt brand, but
that's awesome.
besides that, he's just
That's awesome.
he's a 60-year-old man from Texas. I mean,
what do you want?
Exactly.
He could be much worse.
He really could.
He could be burning more symbols in his front yard.
Well, what he does on a Friday is none of my damn business. Really.
Remember, the Undertaker symbol's not a cross. It's a symbol. It's a symbol.
Yeah.
But I would dare say that, like, of the main roster people that have won a championship, they've all done so and made NXT better during their time, right? Like,
all right.
Charlotte and Rhea, it was kind of a wash, but in the end, like, we got Io Shirai winning the NXT women's title off of Charlotte at, I think that was NXT In Your House, the very first In Your House. It was in the three-way.
I think you're right.
The New Day's going over there winning the NXT titles. It made sense for them, especially if they're on like the tail end of their time together.
Yeah, Mike In Your House.
Getting an NXT title reign and putting a little polish on a team that everybody loves now on SmackDown, Pretty Deadly.
Right.
And then with Dolph Ziggler winning the NXT title, it's another guy who's like, he has so much knowledge and so much understanding that if you're going to go over and put somebody in finishing school, you can do much worse than have Dolph Ziggler facing your young babyface talent and like putting them through the paces and everything. And Braun got a masterclass really early. Like, Braun's still in like his first or second year now.
Yeah.
And he's already.
Mike makes a great point here too. New Day made sense to help sell tickets for their first road premium live event in years.
Right. And I can just expect more of this to come. Like, if you're going to treat NXT like a developmental brand, then you have to account for call-ups and send-downs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even look at people of recent who went down and maybe didn't even win the title. Like, Apollo Crews got a nice shine in NXT. Now, what's he doing now on the main roster? Didn't he just get, like, mobbed out to Damian Priest on Raw or something? Or he wrestled somebody and got like washed in the blood. But like,
yeah,
Cruz got a new lease on life.
Well, didn't AJ Styles go down and do a program with Grayson Waller?
Grayson Waller, yes.
Who is now, you can tell the WWE has big plans for him.
And like Finn Balor has gone down multiple times. Johnny Gargano has been down multiple times. And it makes sense because like a lot of those guys too are NXT.
Case in point, this Sunday, which we're gonna preview the premium live event here in a minute. But Baron Corbin's down there, and he is the opponent for Gable Stevenson's first match.
And I'm so excited for Baron Corbin.
Yeah.
Because, like, Baron Corbin's a guy, whether, like, can you believe Baron Corbin has been doing this for 8 years?
That's insane.
Yeah.
Oh, you think he'd be better by now?
Oh, come on.
He is. He's actually good. Look.
Don't be rude.
It's weird, right? Like, I know it's, like, tongue-in-cheek, like, this person sucks and this person sucks. In wrestling in 2023, it's hard to be on television and actively suck. Like, actually be bad.
Well,
right?
never mind. I'm not going to say it.
Like, who? Who are you going to say?
I was going to say Britt Baker.
Okay. Britt Baker has regressed.
She has. Yeah.
But she's not bad.
No,
She's bad, but she's not as good as she was and not as good as she thinks she is.
Yeah.
Her character work has taken a back seat. Because I don't think Britt Baker knows how to be Britt Baker unless she is like the focal point.
Oh, Ronda Rousey is on TV and actively sucks. I'll say that.
But is that because she actively sucks as a person? Or
that's a good point.
We also got like Ronda fatigue very early. Like, we thought Ronda was awesome until we saw her every week, and then we got sick of her, and then she wins the women's title on SummerSlam by her screaming to the crowd multiple times, "Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready?" No, I'm not.
No.
For what?
I'm ready for you to shut up.
leave?
I'm ready for my ears to stop bleeding. I'm ready to go blind.
I'm ready for Travis Brown to hurry up and get you pregnant again so you can go away.
Yeah, please.
Like,
But
knock
yeah,
her
I mean,
up again, TB. Let's
go.
go.
Do the Lord's work, TB. But yeah, it's and I don't see how it can hurt a brand to be on Raw, to be, have one of your titles featured on a show that's getting 2, 3, 4, 5 times your audience. And making, if Dom's on Raw and he's the most hated character and everybody wants to see him and wants to see the Judgment Day, and you're like, hey, we're going to show up on NXT again. At the very least, you're going to tune in, whether it's on NXT TV or if it's a highlight on YouTube or social media, you're going to watch what the Judgment Day did on NXT. Like, I don't see how that's bad for the brand.
I mean, think of like how recently it was that everybody was saying that Damian Priest sucked.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago.
It wasn't that long ago. And now people want Damian Priest to cash in Money in the Bank on Finn after he beat Seth.
I mean, even
you do realize that him cashing in makes him world heavyweight champion, right?
Yeah, man.
He's not cashing in on Austin Theory's U.S. title.
No, he is
the
not.
big belt.
Yeah, he's gonna be the big man on campus, and
he would be the de facto leader of the Judgment Day,
right? And I mean, a year ago when at Mania 38, was it when Rhea beat? Was it Rhea beat Asuka? Was that last year or was it the year before?
It was the year before, I think.
Something it just didn't work. So like everybody in this group has excelled because of it. The NXT brand's excelling because of it. I mean, if you want to, if you want to say that it's quote unquote hurting the brand because somebody else in NXT is not the champion, I guess, but like I also don't think Dom's gonna hold this title for how many days did Wesley hold it for? He had that for a long time. Like I don't think we're getting another 300-day reign out of Dominic Mysterio. I think he's gonna have it now, maybe at most till right before SummerSlam, or I think I just saw No Mercies in September. Like I don't think we're gonna get a long run here.
269 days for Wesley. Okay. It is the number one longest reign in NXT history.
Yeah, we're not getting that repeater.
The next closest is he who shall not be named, Patrick Clark.
Uh-oh.
The next is Keith Lee at 175.
Okay. There you go. September 30th, WWE just announced NXT No Mercy will take place in Bakersfield, California, September 30th. So if he gets through this weekend, at most he has it 2 months. I think, until No Mercy time. But I don't even think it's going to be that long. I really don't. Yeah, I mean, he could lose it this weekend, and we'll talk about that here in a second. I just want to hit a couple of social media responses from the question of the week. We do appreciate everybody who interacts with us on the question of the week. Charlie says, not at all. It elevates a talent like Wes, Braun, and Mello while giving the brand as whole a wider exposure to a wider audience. Joey at Joey Image, our pal Joey Image, says it comes off to me like they're trying to hotshot elevate that particular title. So maybe yes, or maybe, but he doesn't say maybe no. Rob the Genius says nope, unless the main roster person comes in and squashes everybody, then it doesn't hurt anyone at all. Our pal DJ over the Mindless Wrestling podcast says not when the views are going up. Even from business sense, he has a great point there as well. And let's see here over on the Facebook page. Nick says the only way it harms it is they just show up, win it, and promptly lose it for a rating stunt. They let main roster stars defend it a few times on the show, let NXT level wrestlers get some shine, then it is worth it. Jeff says as long as they show up and defend or are featured on NXT, I think it elevates it. If the main roster guys value the title, it's elevated. So generally a fairly positive response from people. And yeah, I think that's the right way to look at it. Devin says doesn't hurt the NXT because he let NXT people know NXT is still around. Yeah, for sure. Devin also thinks as soon as Damien cashes in, he's going to get kicked out of the Judgment Day and be replaced by Jordan Devlin.
No one wants that.
Wait, is Jordan Devlin problematic?
Jordan Devlin is very problematic.
Okay, that's what I thought.
JD McDonough is a nice guy. JD McDonough is the guy who would be called up, not Jordan Devlin.
There we go.
Name changes, pal. Google JD McDonough, you don't get nothing. Jordan Devlin, yeah. Uh-oh. Hit him, Carl. Thank you.
Hit him, Carl.
I'll make up for it now.
All right. There we go. Devin forgot about the new name. Any other thoughts on NXT title changes, main roster guys holding them, and all of that? All right. And then the last thing we're going to look at the NXT Great American Bash this Sunday night from the HEB Center in Cedar Park, Texas. We start with an 8-person mixed tag team match. Dragon Lee, Nathan Frazier, Yulisa Leone, and Valentina Feroz taking on the Metaphor of Noam Dar, Oro Menza, Jakara Jackson, and Lash Legend. Matt.
Give me the Metaphor. That seems like a fun team.
All right. Tim.
Only one of those people you said got to say the F word on a regular basis on television, and that's Noam Dar. I'm going with the Metaphor.
All right. Yeah, I will go with the Metaphor as well. Devin says Team Dragon Lee. Scotty says good evening. Noam Dar always looks so sad.
Yeah, he does. And they just did like a Weekend at Bernie spot with him.
Well, he lost his beautiful Alicia Fox. You'd be sad too.
Beautiful Alicia Fox.
Mike says I don't have it on the board. I think I should. It's like one of those ones. It's like, should I add it? And then it's like, no. We'll play it one time and then it'll live there for a year.
What you should add is just Fox. Just him saying Fox.
Just him saying Fox. Mike has Team Dragon Lee as well. He also has Mike has will Mark from Texas show up. Backstage, maybe. On TV, probably not. I don't think we ever see Mark from Texas.
Wasn't there a rumor that like Mark from Texas was supposed to work Jeep Wagoneer?
What?
I heard a rumor. Big Mike, you're in tune to the dirt sheets. Tell me I wasn't dreaming when I saw that Mark from Texas was supposed to have a program with Jeep Wagoneer.
That sounds vaguely familiar, but I feel like I would have heard it from you.
Holy smokes.
Well, I don't want to speak it into existence.
Yeah, now
And now I already have.
That makes me a little scared. I mean, I did see recently on an interview, Mark from Texas said that if he still could, he still would. So
Which means
that makes me a little worried.
Break glass in case of emergency. That's awesome.
That's awesome. But
I'm coming. God
damn it. Good Lord. All right. Next one, submission match for the NXT Women's Championship. Tiffany Stratton defending against Chase Hughes, Thea Hale. Matt.
Tiffany retains.
All right, Tim.
Thea Hale.
Ooh.
Chase Hughes gonna do it.
Think so? I'm gonna go Tiffany. I'm gonna go Tiffany to retain here. Let's see. Mike says he heard there was a rumor about NXT people, but he didn't hear Jeep Wagoneer by name. So
thank God.
Who? Now, okay.
What vanilla midget is the Undertaker gonna beat up?
Now Tim has spoken into existence.
It's Tim. Devin has Tiffany Stratton. Scotty said Stratton wins. He said, Scotty also asked, what are these rumors of Rock and Waller doing a segment at SummerSlam?
My God, if that
Hollywood's
happens,
on strike, man. Rock's got to do something.
I'm a ski everywhere.
Too.
There's no way, man. He is not coming back. Now, I think it came from Waller, like, called him out as he's been doing.
Cena's going to come back for Waller. Rock's going to come back to either coach Uso to take over the head of the table or directly challenge it for himself at Mania.
I just don't see it happening, man.
And then
sign on to and I understand Hollywood's on strike. I get that. But didn't he just sign a deal for like the biggest movie deal he's ever signed?
Well,
there's no
until that production starts, Jimmy's got nothing but time on his hands.
There's no way.
He's got to feed his family somehow.
$7 is all out.
No freaking
He's got
way.
nothing else left.
Devin says he thinks we see Stone Cold instead of The Rock.
No,
I don't even want that.
Devin, that's
Austin finished his career perfectly. It ended so perfect in Dallas. Let that be. Leave the memories alone, as that
let the glass stay broken,
as that Fuel song once said. If I go Stratton. All right. Gallus defending the NXT Tag Team Championship against the family of Tony Mozzarella and Channing Stacks Lorenzo. Good Lord. This is the Italian World Order all over again.
LWO already exists. Or that's the IWO. That's bad.
The IWO.
Whoa.
Matt, go ahead.
Give me Gallus just because the family is dumb.
Tim.
If Dominic Mysterio can tell you a thing or two, a couple of days in the clink can really harden up a man. Tony D'Angelo has been locked up for some time now. He's got a mean streak on Bio Wide. Get him to Gabagool and get the Gabagalics out of here. Like, it's the family. The Gabagalis gotta go. It's Tony D and Stacks, man. They're gonna win the straps. Gallus is going up. Same with Tiffany Stratton. They're going up.
Matt, our old pal Russ, he posted a really cute picture of his dog this week, so I'm gonna go with the family.
That's right.
I'm gonna go with team A.
Russ watches that match only wearing his beater and eating a slab of pepperoni.
Absolutely, without question.
Eating a roll of pepperoni.
He doesn't even cut the slices off. He's just tearing.
Nah, it's just one big long stick. Just
it's like a giant Slim Jim.
He bites off the end and spits it out and then tears it.
The pup's chewing on the pepperoni skin while Russ is eating it. Yeah, that's 100% going to happen. Let's hear. Devin says team Tony Mozzarella. Mike says the Gabagool family crime syndicate. Scotty thinks Gallus destroys them. Well, I don't like your attitude.
Big Mike, they're legitimate businessmen. They do a lot of good for the community.
Scotty says LA Knight with Mark from Texas, question mark. No.
Well, LA Knight is not in
Let's stop
NXT anymore.
doing this.
Well, and they did. They did that little bit back at Raw 30, and that was their little bit together. So that's
That
already
was for Bray, and
already
then
done.
we saw what happened with Bray.
yeah, everything Taker touch dies. So just
Bray got so overwhelmed by
let
having
him
a
go.
touching moment with the Undertaker.
just let Mark from Texas go.
Did you also hear? For some reason, I'm in tune to the Undertaker news, and I don't know. You took him with you.
Yeah, Ryan, why don't
Somewhere.
you take him on vacation with you? I heard he's been wandering the beaches of Delaware searching for Smokey the Bear.
By the way, we've got a crazy story to tell you next week about what could possibly be in the cards for Mark Cottenstein. We'll talk about it next week before the show, and you don't get it on Patreon anymore, you bums.
Blame EJ for that.
I heard another rumor about the Undertaker that apparently he has Bray Wyatt's return all booked out in his head.
I'm sure he does.
I'm sure he does, but does he work for the WWE? Like,
I mean, yes, he does.
has he told anybody? Is he like, what's going on with that?
No, he just told me.
Now Tim's upset. Look, Ryan, you made him angry. You made him upset.
I just hate this guy so much.
All right, next match. Gable. I always want to call him Stevenson because Stevenson's a dumb name. Gable Stevenson makes his NXT.
Says the guy with the last name Nice.
Yo, man, watch your ass. Gable
It's missing some
Stevenson.
letters.
It's not missing any letters.
Niles?
You shut up. Gable
Shut your
Stevenson
ass.
makes his debut versus the man, Baron Corbin. Matt, go ahead.
Gable Stevenson, A, because Jim insulted his perfectly fine name, and B, because Baron Corbin sucks.
Shut your ass.
Tim, go ahead.
Gable Stevenson, because they're not going to have a legit gold medalist lose. Well, Baron Corbin does know a thing or two about beating Olympic gold medalists in a WWE
You're
ring.
goddamn right he does. He
He
retired one of them.
He retired one. He's going to retire another one in like 30 years. It's Gable Stevenson.
Good. Thanks, Ryan. We miss you, buddy.
No,
Hope
we
you're
don't.
well, we hope you can see it. Some of us miss you. Oh, so mean. I'm going Baron Corbin, one, because Gable Stevenson should have an N in his last name, another N, and two, because he's also problematic, or at least at
So
the
should
very
you,
least.
honestly. How cool would it be
Rumor-
if your name was Jim Nines?
Yes.
Man, that's pretty good.
You really want to be a poolman, a golfman?
Oh man,
Jim
that's so
Nines.
perfect. Oh man,
Hitting
that's
the lakes with Jimmy Nines this week.
with Jimmy Nines.
Yo, that is your new golf name.
Dude, that is so good.
You
That
need to
is so
speak
good.
every time you go out with the boys. You just need to start calling yourself Jimmy Nines.
I'm gonna like check in like with a fucking Instagram story. Jimmy Nines here.
You should.
Oh my
It's a
God.
shame that like golf doesn't work like bowling, where you can like put your name on the scoreboard.
Oh my
and
God.
then be, yo, Jimmy Nines should be every.
If I'm ever like playing in like an actual tournament,
I want to see how it looks. I want to see how it looks.
Oh man,
Hold
that's so good. That is fucking great. Scotty says he can't.
Oh my God.
Look at that, it's perfect.
I know. What's happened to you? Put a second N in somebody's name, Jim.
See, maybe Gable can learn something. Let's see. Mike says ready, willing, and Gable. Don't do that with him.
Nailed
Chat
it.
Gable. That's not
Got
not
it.
where it goes, Tim. Oh boy. Well. Jesus Christ. Devin has Gable, and Scotty says Baron Corbin is on a mission.
What mission?
What mission that is, I'm not sure, but nonetheless. All right, and we
He's
got
on a mission.
a weapons wild match. Whatever the fuck that means. with Roxanne Perez and Blair Davenport. Matt.
Well, it's usually my one rule when I remember to enforce it that I never pick against the former guest of the show, so I will choose Blair Davenport.
All right, Tim.
Me. Roxanne.
Very good. Look at that. That's good. That was very good. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Matt on this one. Can't bet against the former guest. We'll go Blair Davenport for the win. Devin has Roxanne like Tim does, and Mike has Blair Davenport. All right, then we go to the singles match for the NXT Championship. Carmelo Hayes defending against Ilya Dragunov. Matt.
I will take Hayes in this one.
Tim.
So my pick is Ilya Dragunov, but I hate Ilya Dragunov.
I was gonna say that is a reluctant pick.
It is a reluctant pick because I hate him. It has been a long time since I've had a WWE superstar who I just actively disliked. And Ilya Dragunov. I would love for him to be dragoned off my TV. So hard, so fast.
Delayed is what you're saying.
I want his flight to be delayed every week.
Oh my gosh, can we? I think we should make a T-shirt with like a what's it like the boarding screen and
your flight is delayed.
Your flight is delayed. That'd be pretty good.
Yeah. So my heart wants Carmelo Hayes, but money wise, Carmelo is him. He's going up to do the new Hurts. Imagine a Hurt business with Carmelo Hayes, Trick Williams, the Street Profits, and Bob Lashley. Yum. Eat them up. And if that means Ilya Dragunov has to win the NXT title, I don't care. And then the Undertaker can then squash that vanilla midget and win the NXT title, and then tell me I'm telling lies with That's Undertaker awesome. On top of the NXT.
Oh my God. Could you imagine
him getting that motorcycle into the NXT arena? Yeah.
Gets the ribbon up half a time. People were talking about being bad for the NXT brand when Dominic Mysterio's running around with a mid-card title. And then here's Mark from Texas just I'm coming. Just to ruin the day. Yeah, you know what, Tim? I like it. If Dragunov has to walk so Mello can run, so be it. Dragunov gets the win, new champion. Mike has Mello don't miss. Devin has Mello. Scotty says Hayes loses and gets called up. But all right, let's go to the match everybody's going to tune in to see. The most watched man in NXT right now. Dirty Dominic Mysterio defends the NXT North American Championship in a triple threat against the former champion Wes Lee and Mustafa Ali. Matt.
Well, I'm going to break the rule that I just enforced 2 matches ago and pick against Wes Lee, even though he is a former guest of the show, because it doesn't make sense to give Dirty Dom the belt and then take it back from him this quickly. I do think he will eventually lose it. Maybe back to Wesley, but not in this instance. So give me Dom to retain.
Very good. Tim.
Let's go Dom.
Yeah. I don't see him moving it that quick. And if it does, I say it would be Ali, not Dom. Dom's not eating the fall. Let me put it that way. If it is Mustafa Ali, I think he gets the fall over Wesley. Then there's your feud there coming out of it. But yeah, I think Dirty Dom retains here. Devin agrees, Mike agrees, and Scotty agrees because he says Finn and Priest will help him. So yeah, I mean, I think the whole Judgment Day will be there as they should be. But yeah, that's where we leave NXT Great American Bash. Again, now that is Sunday night. We know WWE usually does their main roster premium live events on Saturday, but NXT is on Sunday. And that is where we're going to close up the live show for this week. So thank Scotty, Devin, Mikey, Ryan for checking in with us. We had Luna Kitty was back there for a little while. No cousin Brian, because apparently he's wandering around with Mark somewhere, but it is what it is. Thanks again for tuning in. There it is. I went to put up the end graphic, and old Hershey Narc made it up on the board. But again, thank you for tuning in, everybody. We will be back on your airwaves on Tuesday in the podcast feed, so make sure you are subscribed and you don't miss that. We'll be back live next week to preview SummerSlam and much more. Make sure you get our merchandise over at tpublic.com. Follow us on all of our social media at 3 Count Thursday. Follow us on all and subscribe on all podcast platforms. Until next time, stay safe, stay smart, and as always, go for the pin.